New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Toyota. Deer Spring, Toyota's adrenaline-pumping lineup is ready for you. Toyota, let's go places. By Prevagen. By Heineken, proud partner of the New York Mets. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. And by the New York Lottery, you can win a grand prize of $40,000 with the Swing for the Fences promotion. Enter with the New York Lottery app today. Here's Murph. Big Sexy. Celebrate the legendary 1986 Mets World Championship season. Get your Mookie Wilson bobblehead on May 12th with a special event ticket purchase. Go to Mets.com/themegames for details. James Wood of the Nationals leads the National League in home runs and walks and strikeouts. When he hits it real hard. That's your Spectrum high-speed hitting. Clay Holmes will try and keep Wood and the Nats in check. Mets and Nats, 1-3. First pitch is coming right up. Painful watching you in a Nats uniform. Painful, I tell you.
It was much briefer than in a Mets uniform.
Last year, the Mets won 7, lost 6, 4-2 against the Nats at Citi Field. Here's your Hyundai starting lineup for the Nats, who are third in the National League in runs per game. James Wood moved up to the leadoff spot this year. That's been good for him. C.J. Abrams moved out of the leadoff spot. It's been good for him. They're both off to great starts this year. The first 5 guys in the Nats order are all 25 and younger.
And we got Clay Holmes on the mound today, coming in with a 2.10 ERA, 50% sinkers, and a lot of ground balls. So Mauricio at shortstop and Bo Bichette at third base should get a lot of work today.
Never more sinkers than in his last start against the Twins. He threw 73% sinkers in that game. James Wood leads it off. 10 home runs this year, leads the National League. And Holmes ready to work. And his first pitch of the night is a sinker that misses low and away for ball 1, and we're underway. James Wood is still just 23 years old. 31 home runs last year, 221 strikeouts last year. He's on a better home run pace and a similar strikeout pace this season. It's a fascinating hitter because early in his career, and it's only his second full season, he had a tendency to hit way too many balls on the ground. And he's gotten a little more lift in his swing this year. And he takes a sweeper for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, as you showed in the pregame, he hits the ball hard, but it was a little bit lower than he wanted. But this year, he's what is he, up to 10 home runs? And he's always taking a walk, so that almost plays as his singles.
Third in the league in on-base percentage. And he takes the sweeper for strike 3 call. So Wood strikes out for the 45th time this year. That's the most in the National League, and Holmes begins his night with a strikeout.
And here goes the Genesis Mets defense for you. Carson Bench gets a start in center field with Luis Robert nursing a hurt lower back right now. And like I said, pregame, Ronnie Mauricio and Bo Bichette should get quite a bit of work on the ground.
Here is Luis Garcia, who is adjusting to a new position this year, playing first base. Played mostly second base his first 6 years with the Nats. Garcia, been a red-hot hitter. You see last 6 games, 8 for 19. This entire Nationals team has been on fire in the early season. They've struggled to pitch, but their offense has been magnificent. It's a complete makeover in terms of the brain trust of the Nats. Davey Martinez let go. Blake Buterin, now the youngest manager in baseball. And a fastball on the inside corner to Garcia, 2-1. Blake Buterin, just 33 years old. The last manager younger in the major leagues. You got to go back to 1972 when Frank Quillisi managed the Minnesota Twins at age 33. Popped up foul third base side. Bichette giving chase, but that'll be beyond his reach. 2-2. We've got a new president of baseball operations, Paul Taboni, who is also extremely young. So they have remade their brain trust, and this team has gone very, very young.
Very young. I think what we were talking before the game, that nobody over the age of 28 has taken a plate appearance yet. Like you said, they have swung the bat really well. Haven't pitched a ton. We'll see how well they catch it.
They've had the advantage of being so bad the last few years. They've started a lot of careers at a young age. And Luis Garcia is a perfect example of that. He's 25 years old. This is his 7th big league season.
Going to make me check how many plate appearances he has on his CV.
And he pulls one down to first. Nice stop by Vientos. He gathers it and finds Holmes for the second out.
Yeah, here goes Mark Vientos. Gets a hop before, so he's in position. And the hard part of this one is keeping it in front of you. Bullet from Luis Garcia. Once you get it secured, pretty routine flip to Clay Holmes covering. But this is really well done by Mark. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as you get him out.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Brady House, who is serving as the DH tonight, plays most of the third base for the Nats. And he takes a sinker away for ball 1. House is just 22 years old. First round pick by the Nats in 2021 out of high school in Georgia. Made his big league debut last season. And Holmes falls behind him 2-0. Clay last year worked 2 games against the Nats, one as a starter, one as a reliever. Did not give up a run in either outing. 8 2/3 scoreless innings last year against Washington. Ground ball past the mound, and Simeon's right there to field it. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Clay Holmes with a couple of ground balls. Mets come to that no score. For the Mets, we're dealing with some injury issues. Juan Soto's got a little bit of a forearm tightness, so he's still DHing, probably a few days away from playing the outfield. Luis Robert sitting for a 2nd straight game with some low back tightness, and that moves Jay Melendez up into the cleanup spot for the first time since 2024 with the Royals.
And here's Zach Littell, who right now is sporting a 7.5 ERA. Been hit around a little bit. They may think it is got a late start to spring training, so getting into form, but hasn't thrown the ball as well as he'd like to begin this season.
Well, Bichette attacks him first pitch, flies one deep to right. Wood back to the fence, and it's out of here. Bo Bichette homers on the first pitch thrown by Zach Littell, and the Mets jump out to an instant 1-0 lead. Well, Littell's a pitcher, gives up a lot of home runs, and Bo is a very aggressive hitter, and he wasted no time. First pitch gone. His 7th career leadoff home run. Nice shot in the arm, and instant donning of the construction helmet.
Construction hat, didn't quite get the. Here comes the vest. Celebrate 1-0.
Soto bluffs the bunt and takes a strike. Now, Littell gave up 36 home runs last year. He's now given up a dozen this year in just 25 innings, most of any National League pitcher.
That's a way to come out of the off day. Bo was ready to hit first pitch.
Zach Littell, well-traveled right-hander. Originally drafted by Seattle, he has kicked around 6 different big league teams. Last year pitched for Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. He's a workhorse. He threw 186 2/3 innings last year, and that makes him valuable, but he has really struggled.
Yeah, he lingered on the free agent market a little bit, I believe, this offseason until he got the 1-year deal here in D.C.
Didn't sign until March the 10th, which, as you say, set him back in spring training.
Bo Bichette gets a fastball up in the zone, and as we said, he is ready to hit. Oh, knew he got it. And it takes a strong person to hit it out the other way. He took on about the biggest carry he could to right center field. But no better way for the Mets to start, get the offense going.
You got a 6'7" right fielder, so you got an extra few feet.
Trying to climb the wall to take it away.
Taken low. And it's 3-2 to Soto. Juan's played 5 games since coming back from the injured list. He has only 3 hits in the 5 games, but 6 walks, which speaks to the fact that he doesn't have a whole lot of hot hitters around him right now. 3-2 coming from Littell, and he skies one to shallow right center. Out goes Nunez, the second baseman, as he backpedals, and that's the first out.
And here comes Bo, really loading it up with his leg kick here. This is going to let him get a ton of his mass into the hit. There he is as he just moves right into the ball. What a turn. And again, the nice thing about having the ball up in the zone is you can get it over the infielders easier. He decided to get it over the right fielder as well, too, and give the Mets a 1-0 lead.
There's Francisco Alvarez, who's cooled down on this homestand, just 3 for 19. Mets played 18 innings on Sunday, scored 1 run. Took them 1 pitch to score 1 run today. This is a Nats pitching staff that is last in the National League in ERA. They've given up the most home runs and the second most walks of any pitching staff in the National League.
A lot of base runners, a lot of damage.
Alvarez skies one to center field, and Jacob Young has it lined up. And that's the second out.
Here's the Nationals defense presented by Suffolk Credit Union, and I'll highlight Jacob Young. He's a Jacksonville fella. Just made the play for the second out in center field. And we'll go James Wood as well, too, who's in a new position in right field from last year where he played left. And the Mets are hoping to play against both those fellas all night long.
Now MJ Melendez moved to the cleanup spot today, making his 7th start for the Mets. Starters numbers are not good for the Nats. The caveat is that the last 4 games they've actually been pretty good. The last 4 games their starters ERA is 0.93. He's played a couple of close games against the White Sox. Will pop up in foul ground. Coming back is Millis, and that'll go out of play. 1-2 to Melendez.
Getting the White Sox on the schedule feels like a good way to bring your ERA down.
They're better though. They've got Murakami.
Yes, that's
Leads
true.
the major leagues in home runs.
He is socking it. What, homers, walks, and strikeouts? Is that kind of what Murakami's got going right now?
Yeah, with a 3-run homer yesterday to help beat the Angels after a 3-hour rain delay in Chicago.
I wonder how many people watched it live.
You mean like in the ballpark?
Yeah, like there.
We're talking about like paying customers, or are we including vendors and groundskeepers? And
perhaps this. What are the chances they could have heard you doing the game while they were taking a plate appearance? Because I've done that before.
That does happen sometimes. I remember there was a game in Baltimore a few years ago, even before the pandemic, that they played with no customers when Gary Thorne was doing TV for the Royals. And Gary Thorne is a fantastic announcer, but has the loudest voice of any human being I've ever met. And all the players on the field could hear his every word.
Everything he did.
1-2 to Melendez. Mark Vientos would be next. And Melendez able to spit on that sweeper, and it's 2-2.
Easy to say now, but I like the Mets at bats here coming out of the off day in this first inning. Juan got deep in the count. The home run. Melendez is seeing it well. Francisco Alvarez just missed a pitch.
This one's popped up in foul ground. Millis racing for it again, sliding, and he got it. Oh wow, what a play! Drew Millis speeding toward the Nats dugout and going into the slide and somehow picking that one off before it could hit the ground. That is not an easy play.
Food pantries, soup kitchens, and nutrition programs across the state. The food and resources they need unite to end hunger. Go to cfbnj.org to join us. Go to cfbnj.org today.
Clay Holmes stake to a 1-0 lead, gets first pitch breaking ball in for a strike to C.J. Abrams as we start the second inning. Abrams hitting cleanup these days, and he's off to a fast start. Abrams had a good year last year, 19 home runs, 31 steals, 748 OPS. He's been much better this year. Long-time leadoff hitter for the Nats, now hitting down in the order, and he hits a two-hopper to second. So Holmes getting the ground balls early. But your All-State good hands replay goes to Drill Millis of the Nats.
We even got a little bit of a late start, but he's hunting it. Really good awareness of the field. You can see in his glove how he breaks it in. It's a little bit softer and it just sticks in that pocket. That's a really great play. Just right there next to the padding area.
Is that one of those where you're supposed to then say he runs well for a catcher?
It looked like he just kind of ran well. Yeah.
Dylan Lyle, the batter. Lyle was unheralded when he came up last year, but he was the National League Player of the Month in September and wound up finishing 5th in the Rookie of the Year balloting. Crushed the Mets' hopes down the stretch last year. The Mets, as they fell short of a postseason berth, had a lot of games get away from them, and the Nats were responsible for several of them. And Lyle had a big piece of that. Wound up with an 845 OPS across 91 games for Washington last year. He's just 23 years old. Second round pick in 2021 out of high school in Louisville. Played a lot of right field last year, but they moved him over to left, figuring Wood would be the better defender. Fly ball out to center, and Bangees is back. Carson puts it away, 2 out. 5 up and 5 down for Holmes. Well, here's Dylan Lyle last September. I think it was a tie game, right? And he hit this 2-run inside the third home run.
Stretch your legs now.
And he can fly.
Oh, protect yourself too.
9 home runs he hit last year.
Legged out one of them.
Here's Jacob Young, the center fielder, and he's having a better offensive year. Last year, 583 OPS, 651 this year. They're more for his glove than for his bat. University of Florida product, now in his 4th season. Hasn't won a Gold Glove yet, but might someday. And he takes fastball strike from Holmes, 0-2.
I can't say enough about Clay Holmes. You get a run in the first inning. He's gone strike 1 to all 3 of the batters that have come to plate right now, and hoping to finish this inning off, get the offense back in the dugout, and try to extend the lead and lead on Zach Littell again.
And when I talked to Holmes about his last start against Minnesota, he said, when I was a starter in the minors, they had a rule that you could only throw your fastball first time through the order. And he said the start against Minnesota was kind of like that.
Yeah, just having success. I remember Christy Mathewson reading a quote on him that you always wanted to hold something for the pinches. So you want to hold something back for the tough spots.
Well, the problem for starters these days is you don't get to face those tough spots 3rd and 4th time around the order.
They're a little closer to sprinters than they were marathon runners back in the day.
One-two coming to Young. And he just missed away.
Here's one for you, because that's a little bit, I wouldn't say pouting, but like Alvarez wants that pitch. Now, at what point, I feel like I've heard the umpire say, why don't you just challenge it?
But 2 out and nobody on, it's not a good spot.
Right. So how much do you get to complain with your body language when you like it but don't get it?
And there's the good breaking ball to strike out Young. 6 up and 6 down for Holmes with a couple of strikeouts. 1-0 Mets in the second. Odds update presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Mark Vientos leads off in the home second and swings and misses at Zach Littell's slider, 0-1. Vientos is heated up a little bit on this homestand, 5 for 16 so far. And he's always swung the bat well against the Nats. 906 career OPS against Washington.
Yeah, you'd like to see him start this inning off again with as well as Clay Holmes threw the ball last inning, try to get a base runner and open that hole up for Brett Beatty. It's kind of that sustained pressure you're hoping to do as an offense. Good at bat after good at bat. Unfortunately missed a pitch last inning with Melendez, but you want to just stack up these good ABs.
The Mets have had so many long droughts within games. What is it, 5 times this year they've had a pitcher retire at least 10 in a row against them?
it's just deflating. It just sucks the life out of you. There's no action on the bases. You can't even go first or third, read a dirt ball, steal a base. Oh boy. Not the one he wanted 2-1.
Does that feed on itself within a team when things are going in that direction?
Yeah, you can feel it because it almost gives the appearance as if you're not trying, but you are. You just have you have no offense, and when you have no offense, all you're doing is defending all the time.
And Vientos goes down swinging on the splitter, and Littell's got his first strikeout. Of course, there's a lot of heat on the manager when things are going as badly as they are for a team that has as high expectations as the Mets do. I mean, what can a manager do?
I think
in circumstances.
What Carlos has done historically here, which is be the same guy every day, and I would just continue to encourage the fellas, watch the scoreboard, offensively, defensively. Like if you're, here you go, you're Brett Beatty right now, 1 out, you're looking to get on base, you know what I mean? And where the base hits, you see at third base right now, there's only one guy. If I'm going to hit it low, hit it there, and then pull it to the gap in here, try to hit doubles. I think just allow the scoreboard to make your decision making for you, and I think it'll allow you to play freer, because every time I've run into Carlos, his demeanor says go play free, express yourself. And so just encourage the fellas to keep doing that. Read the scoreboard.
But the noise has to affect the team, right? I mean, already in the last 4 days, Alex Cora fired by the Red Sox. Today, Rob Thompson fired by the Phillies. If you're a player and those things are going on even outside your team, and you know how poorly your team is going, what kind of reaction do you have as a player emotionally to knowing what the landscape is?
Well, you all, like you said, you see what's going on in the league right now. We've had 2 managers fired, and from a player's perspective, like I look at it, like we're here to win baseball games, and we have expectations to do it. The best way for me to do that is to not focus on what's going on in Philly, even more maybe what's going on in the stands. The best way I can do that is see what the game is asking me to do at that specific moment and try to do it as best I can in it. And then it's like over and over again. Win this pitch and then win the next pitch. And it's really like there's nothing glamorous about it, but it's the only way back in it.
But there's got to be a human tendency to try and, to use a cliche, do too much.
Yeah, to do more. And so I don't disagree, but I come back to foundationally, I would just look and see right now. It's 3-2 with 1 out. I'm trying to get to first base. I don't want to strike out. Let me make the defense touch it, and you'll see in my at-bat that I'm paying attention to the game and trying to do what it asks.
80 pulls one down to first, and Garcia handles it. 2 out.
But it is, you want to do more because you love your skipper. Like he comes in here every day, he's advocating for you. He hasn't blown up anybody in the media, and so he's in here advocating for you every day. You want to play well for him. Again, in this situation, we got Marcus Semien up. I'd like him to get something up in the zone. Fastball, curveball, you pick, hook one over the third baseman's head for a double, try to get in scoring position.
Marcus 1 for 12 on this homestand. Takes a slider right there, and it's 0-2. And lifts this one to center, and Young circles in and puts it away to retire the side. So Littell, after giving up the Bichette home run, has retired 6 in a row, still 1-0. Around the Majors presented by Spectrum. We alluded to it earlier. Rob Thompson fired by the Phillies today. Took them to the World Series after he took over from Joe Girardi in 2022. The Phillies off to the same kind of start the Mets are. And Dave Dombrowski, president of baseball operations in Philly, made the move. What I found fascinating is that Dave conceded that he had spoken to Alex Cora over the weekend after Cora was let go by the Red Sox, and Alex said he wanted to spend some time with his family, and that's when he made the move to bring in Don Mattingly from bench coach to be the interim manager. Vientos makes the play on Jorby Vivas, one away. I mean, those are the worst records in the majors, and Mets are right down there with the Phillies. That's the lowest scoring team in baseball through the first 28 games. Fewest runs the Mets have scored in their first 28 games since 1981.
All right. So I didn't play on any of those ball clubs. We scored a little bit. All right.
Phillies out to a 1-0 lead on the Giants tonight. Drew Millis, the switch hitting catcher, steps in. It has created an unprecedented situation in Philadelphia. Never before have you had a manager whose son is the general manager.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Preston Mattingly, the GM, even though he's not president of baseball operations, he's still the general manager, and Preston is now his dad's boss.
What do you think about the lineup tonight, Dad? I disagree. We might have to go in a different direction.
1-2 to Millis, who's the oldest player in the lineup for the Nats tonight, 28 years old. Originally drafted by Oakland. He had an 18-game cameo with the Nats last year and hit .306. Hasn't hit much so far this year, but he's playing more. He's splitting time with Keibert Ruiz, who has had a struggle the last few seasons. It's very odd to see a team with two switch hitting catchers. Millis drives one to right center field, and he's got the Nats' first hit. Picked up by Beatty and played back in. So after Holmes had retired the first 7, Millis with a 1-out single in the third.
Yeah, here's Millis, gets a changeup or some splitter down in the zone, and he's able to scoop it and get it over the Marcus Simeon's head and kind of drop it right into that triangle in between the right fielder and center fielder. A really nice piece of hitting to be able to scoop it over the second baseman.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now the speedy Nasim Nunez batting 9th in the order. Nunez has been playing most of the second base this year. Hasn't hit for a high average, but he leads the National League in stolen bases. So when he gets on, he's a threat. He was a kid who was born in the Bronx but raised in Georgia. Rule 5 pick 2 years ago by the Nats, coming out of the Miami organization. Hasn't played much the last couple of years, but getting a full opportunity this year at age 25.
Not easy to stay on the roster the whole year as a position player for the Rule 5 draft, that is. It's difficult to carry someone that long. And
sometimes it can retard a player's process. I mean, that certainly was the case with Luis Torrens. He was a Rule 5 pick and spent a year in the big leagues when he shouldn't have been there, and really took him a while to overcome that. Hit sharply to second, a chance for 2, but Nunez can fly. Mauricio's throw not in time. Nunez, one of the fastest players in the league. Very hard to double up.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
James Wood, who took the call third strike his first time up. Watch out for Nunez at first. 13 steals already. Although you'd have to wonder whether it's a great idea to run in front of Wood.
I was thinking that. You still got 2 bases open, even though it's second and third. So I would be more concerned if I was going to pitch to Wood and face him to just execute my pitch and not try to hold the runner on.
Nunez is only getting a very short lead on first base. Looking like he has no interest in running in this spot.
He must think he's already in scoring position.
Holmes does a great job controlling the running game, too. He has not had a stolen base attempt against him yet this year. And he's not a guy with a great pickoff move, but he's quick to the plate.
Yeah, he does have, it's like his slide step is like you said, it is quick to the plate. It's more than enough. It doesn't seem like he has to do anything extra on his slides, but his natural move to home plate is really good. What do you think? Curveball in the dirt here, bounce and block?
Got him looking at a sweeper the last time. Goes to the sinker or the changeup, and it just missed. And Wood held the swing 2-2. James Wood with the lead among National Leaguers. It's no Murakami, but Ben's pretty good. 2-2 coming. And he laid off another changeup, and it's 3-2. Wood also leads the league in walks. He's walked 28 times this year. There have been times early in his career where he's been a little passive.
I like another breaking ball low right here. If you walk him, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Nunez gets set to run, and Wood takes the breaking ball for ball 4. So the first walk given up by Holmes. And that puts a runner in scoring position for Luis Garcia.
I don't mind the idea. It looked like the 2 off-speed pitches he threw to Wood to put him away. He didn't start him on the plate, which is James Wood is really good about making you stay on the plate. Would have liked to seen Clay be able to throw that breaker, even if it was in the dirt, keep it on the plate. But it's still getting out here and in the inning, and there is still a base open with a right-hander on deck. So
Luis Garcia hit the ball hard his first time up, and Vientos was able to smother it and make the play on it. 2 out and 2 on. And Garcia takes a sinker for ball 1. Big hole on the left side of the infield for Garcia. He tries to go that way and fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Luis Garcia, one of 3 players with that name rattling around in baseball.
another one was with the Mets, right?
The one who was with the Mets, the relief pitcher, just got called up by the Twins today. So he's back in the majors. And then there's the starter, Luis Garcia, who had some good years with the Astros. 1-2 to Luis Garcia Jr. That's how you.
There we go.
That's how
he'll separate himself.
differentiate.
Another one born in New York.
Yep.
So Brooklyn at second. New York at home.
Born in New York, grew up in the Dominican Republic. 1-2 coming from Holmes, and he struck him out. Got him with a sweeper. Alvarez held the foul tip. Third strikeout for Holmes. That's up a 1-0 lead. Home third inning, Carson Bench leads off against Zach Littell. Third baseman Vivas playing Willen on the grass against Bench. He held the swing, 1 ball, no strikes. Carson's had a good stretch here, 5 for 12 over the last 4 games. He's hitting 8th in the order. Ronnie Mauricio on deck. And slider low and in, 2-0.
All right. Either take, or if you hit it, pull it foul, or hit a bullet somewhere. I guess that's a little bit result, but those are the options right now. 2-0.
Well, you got to watch Carson during spring training, and you saw how disciplined he was at using the whole field and making good swing decisions. Didn't start that way at the start of the regular season. So what have you seen?
Yeah, I think that what the pitchers have been able to do, they're kind of attacking him. He hasn't seen this before. I was talking to you earlier that Yamamoto threw him a cutter out in LA, and I thought to myself, he's never seen anything like that before. So some of it is getting adjusted, and seems like he's had a bit of trouble pulling the ball for base hits here at the start of the season.
Plays off the splitter, and it's 3-2. Well, while Benj tries to get his footing here, the Mets' next outfield prospect, A.J. Ewing, just got promoted to Triple-A today, and he got a triple his first time up for Syracuse. Benj off the fists out to center field. And Young is there, 1 out. A.J. Ewing's a fascinating kid because he's played some second base, played mostly in the outfield. He stole 70 bases last year. I mean, he has plus speed.
Wow.
So if he hits, he may come very quickly. And getting a triple your first time up in Triple-A, that's good.
Yeah. Easy league.
Gives you 3,000 slugging percent.
What's next? What's
Ronnie
the next level?
Ronnie Mauricio making his 5th start.
You can see here a little bit at the bottom of the order, Mauricio and Benj last swing getting beat by fastballs in the middle in what I would consider positive counts. 2-0, 0-0. Just not quite centering the fastball in the zone right now.
And against a guy who's not throwing 95 plus.
No, you don't think Zach's going to throw it by you. he's just going to move it a little bit. He kind of got, there's Austin Slater talking to Carson. He got off of Carson's barrel a little bit with a cutter, but it's not going to be overpowering in the zone.
Mentioned Austin Slater just joined the Mets today. Mets designated Tommy Pham for assignment, signed Slater to a major league contract after he was let go by the Marlins a couple of weeks ago. Mauricio off the end of the bat into shallow right center. And angling on it is Young. 2 out. He's already had 4 putouts first time through the batting order.
Getting some pretty easy work on some routine flies.
So what does that tell you?
Well, their mishits started off. I mean, that's off the end of the bat. The one before it, Carson Bench, is getting crowded, so he got jammed a little bit. They're not hitting it in the center of the barrel, and the trajectory and the exit velocity are matching for easy plays for the defense.
Oh, Bo Bichette barreled one up, first time up. First pitch of the game, hit an opposite field home run. First man to hit the first pitch of a first inning for a home run since Brandon Nimmo did it against the Cardinals 3 years ago. Fastball picks off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Bichette's home run was his 2nd of the year, 7th career leadoff home run.
Good lead. Good lead, Bo.
Bichette lays off on the slider, and it's 3-1.
Now you take a shot.
Tell him over the course of his career has been a guy who is really loath to walk people. Last year, 1.5 walks per 9. He's usually going to be in the strike zone. See if he challenges Bichette here on 3-1. And he missed away ball 4, threw him a slider. So there's the first walk for Littell. How often do you think it happens that a guy hits a home run and then walks his next time up?
I don't know how often it happens, but I would have gone looking for like a breaking ball or something in after hitting one out the other way on a fastball. And Bo showed really great discipline taking that 3-1 pitch. He opens up the hole now for Juan, and he puts himself in scoring position for Juan because Juan can hit a double with the best of them.
Soto popped up his first time up. And takes that first slider low and in for ball 1. Soto's reached base safely in all 13 games he's played this year. And just has to get his slugging going. Although if memory serves, he got off to a pretty slow power start last year. And
Ended up with 43, you said?
Yeah, 43. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 games the Mets have faced a starting pitcher who has an ERA over 6. Michael Lorenzen and Jose Quintana made those numbers look silly, and Littell trying to do the same. That's ripped right behind the bag at second. Abrams had it played perfectly, and that retires the side. Walking one left after 3. 1-0 New York. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear. I want to get that popcorn while it's really hot.
Are you a popcorn eater? My kids love it, but I don't much care for it.
Well, I've had a little problem with breaking teeth on popcorn, but I do.
You enjoy it when you trust yourself to get through it.
Just try and, gum it a little. Brady House rolls over a changeup foul, and it's 0-2. House grounded out his first time up. Clay Holmes has given up just 1 hit through the first 3 innings. But if you're a Mets starting pitcher right now, you're working without a net. Past the mound, Semien on the backhand has got it. The throw is true, 1 away.
Play with it. That's a nice play. He made that look much easier than it was. I might be saying something about myself more than Marcus, but this is a wonderful play. Got to make sure it doesn't hit the bag, but as he gets there, makes the ball disappear in his glove on the backhand, and then is able to check the runner and see he's got plenty of time. Good, strong throw. It's a really nice play.
Funny you say that, because Friday night, Brendan Doyle hit one just like that and went off the bag for a hit.
Good, clean living.
C.J. Abrams takes a changeup outside. Abrams grounded out his first time up. Sinker in for a strike. Now Holmes not throwing his sinker quite as much in this start as he did in that last one against the Twins. He's mixed in some more sweepers in this outing. And the sweeper fouled off 2-2. There's the updated numbers on tonight.
They've shown some good sweepers tonight, starting with James Wood at bat to lead the inning off, or to lead the game off. He's thrown some really good breaking balls.
2-2 to Abrams with Dale and Lyle on deck. And he slashes one the other way for a base hit. So Abrams with a 1-out single, and you got another base stealer aboard now for the Nats. Second hit against Holmes.
Yeah, you could see here's the swing from Abrams. It was a front hip seeker. Holmes was trying to get to him, and it leaks out over the plate. He's able to flatten it out, shoot it right over the third baseman's head, and drop it in front of the left fielder Melendez. And out there, really good piece of hit. As you can see, Alvarez sets up, leaks back over the middle. I'm sure Clay was probably trying to start that ball more in the chalk of the batter's box and then get it to leak over the plate. It's a pitch that you throw that you really want him to take. You don't want him swinging at it.
Abrams a short lead, and Lyle takes fastball high. Abrams has 5 steals this year, 31 last year. He's had as many as 47 in a big league season. Lyle flied to center his first time up. You think about the starts that Wood and Abrams have gotten off to for the Nats. 2 players who are still extremely young. Wood's 23 and Abrams is 25, and they were both pieces that the Nats acquired when they traded Juan Soto to the Padres.
A really good return that Mike Rizzo got, and looking to be 2 foundational pieces for the Nationals. And like you said, they're young but getting really good reps right now at the major league level, getting to play every single day and learning a lot.
They also got Mackenzie Gore in that deal, who they just traded away for prospects because he was a couple of years away from free agency, and they wanted to cash in when they could. But that only served to get them even younger.
Yeah, we were listening about the prospects from Dave Yeager before. I didn't know him. I'm sure we will one day, but they're not helping the major league club this year.
Breaking ball hit down the right field line. Over toward the corner comes Beatty. He's got room to make the catch, tagging at first Abrams, but he will go back as Beatty gets it in quickly. So Lyle just missed on that breaking ball. And that's the second out. Well, the Nats play very high-scoring games. They are 3rd in the major leagues in runs scored. Their pitching has been fairly dreadful. So it's, it's pretty exciting every day.
Yeah, Jimmy Wood hits homers. Real quick, Beatty that was a nice play to secure the ball, get it in to keep the runner off second, because he was tagging up on him. Can speak from my experience at a new position in the outfield. Getting that ball and getting it in and keeping the runners from advancing is a big deal when you're new out there. It was for me, and I thought he did a really nice job to be able to get the ball with a strong throw in a second.
Jacob Young struck out his first time up, and he flails at a sweeper, and it's 0-2. I would imagine as a newfound outfielder that running to the spot as opposed to drifting has got to be your first priority.
Get there as best you can. Try to get your energy behind the ball if you can. And so Brett was able to do that, caught it, turned to the inside, because you have a choice to make a little bit as a right-hand thrower in right field. You could turn it all the way around, but he got his chest behind it and threw it in.
Young tops one toward third, and that goes foul.
But I remember when I got out there at left field, the whole league would just run on me, which makes complete sense. You're new out here, and they would try to take the extra base and would really tag up every time I got to fly to the track out there. So it's stressful if you don't have a ton of experience out there. At least it was for me. So hats off to Brett Beatty, who's bounced around different positions this season.
Everybody should watch Harrison Bader.
Yeah, he glides out there. I didn't really have that in my game.
But the way he backs up behind every throw.
It's like a full back pedal.
Yeah.
Like he's sprinting.
Gilbert Gomez, who coaches the outfielders in addition to his duties as first base coach.
And that's a lot of responsibility for him, getting Brett comfortable in the outfield. Here we go.
Carson Bench bounce around, challenge on
the catcher is challenging the ball
call. Alvarez trying to put the brakes on this inning and does not get the call.
The pitch was a ball. New York has one challenge remaining.
The Mets lose their first challenge in the fourth inning. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Mets are still learning about high leverage and when to use those challenges. Rather than challenging an 0-2 pitch, maybe a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him up and in. And there's the fourth strikeout for Holmes. 4 scoreless for Holmes in a one.
Area Jeep Brand dealer.
Well, it was a year ago today that Brandon Nimmo became only the second Met to drive in 9 runs of the game, and he did it in Washington. Carlos Delgado had held that record by himself, and Nimmo, with his 9 RBI day at Nationals Park, put himself in the Mets record book.
We did that game together. This is becoming an annual thing this time of year.
Can you get 19 runs today? Or at least spread them out over the next 3 games?
We could try to get you enough more runs than the other team, but 19 is going to be. It might take a month to do that right now.
Do it. This is the pitching staff to do it again.
Fair.
Francisco Alvarez leads off in the home fourth against Zach Littell and pops up on the first pitch. First baseman Garcia under it. 1 out. We check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
And guys, it was about 2 months after that game when Nimmo hit the 9 RBIs, had the 9 RBIs, that the Mets optioned Francisco Alvarez down to AAA. And we've talked about how one of the most important things that happened down in AAA was he adopted a routine that he could lean on every single day. And one part of that new routine that he still uses to this day is about a half an hour before the game starts, he takes some pretty tough batting practice in the cages. And Murph, I found this part of it really interesting. Wondering what you thought. That batting practice changes based on how Alvarez feels on the day. So if Alvarez feels really locked in, then he wants to see all different types of pitches. Fastball, off speed, spin. But if he's not feeling good, if he's in a funk, as that one sneaks through for a base hit from MJ Melendez, then what he will do is want to see only fastballs, because the most important thing, of course, is being on time for the fastball.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like if you get in there and you want to make sure you're on time for the fastball, but if you're not feeling as good, kind of go to everything else. The way, honestly, I would do it pregame is I would get like either front toss or batting practice, and I would tell him to lay it in there so I could sock this thing as far as I could. Because during the game, he's trying to get me out, so I wanted to feel as good as I could when the game started.
Now, the trend in baseball now is for guys to face full speed pitching, whether it's from a pitching machine or the track jet or simulating game speed.
Right.
But that's a relatively new phenomenon. Did you ever do that?
I didn't. We didn't have access to it necessarily. Some of the machines would. Really what it is you're trying to figure out and see how that pitcher's ball is going to perform that night. I'm all for that. At the same time, I'm not going to get the same rhythm out of a machine as I am a human, so I feel under attack. I don't want to go into the cage 20 minutes before the game starts and hit the ball off my fingertips and off the end of my bat. So what I would honestly do is I would grab Pat Rossler and tell him, I want you to lay this thing right in the middle for my batting practice, and I'm going to try to waffle every single one of them and then go play.
To Mark Vientos after the Melendez one-out hit.
At the same time, I do think it is good. I would probably have gone in there and watched the ball perform more than I would have probably tried to fight the machine and get hits off of it.
Just to get a feel for what that pitcher's stuff looks like, as opposed to swinging again.
Yeah, because you get an idea. I get that. You know, his ball's got some finish to it at the top of the zone. You want to see that, or he's got a unique breaking ball. You just want to see how it's going to do that night. I did, though, think that I still haven't run into a machine that paints a better picture than my brain does. And so that's how I would usually run through the pitchers. I would do it in my mind with my own sort of reps. All right, Mark Vientos with 2 strikes right now. For me, if you're going to bail out right now, you still have that hole open low the other way. Maybe you can get a good take. So I'm always aiming for where the hits are, Gary. I'm aiming for where the hits are. So right now, as you see, the 3-4 hole is open with the runner on first, so you can win low the other way. You can win it with a line drive over the shortstop or third baseman as well too. Harder to win and beat the right fielder and the center fielder in the air, as we've seen tonight.
Second throw over for Littell. See if Melendez is running on a 3-2 pitch with 1 out. Vientos struck out his first time up. Melendez lengthens his lead. Not going. And it's ball 4. He missed by much. And the second walk issued by Littell.
Now, what's your feeling on that one, Gary? You think that was one that was worthy of a challenge?
I think that if you're going to challenge a close pitch, 3-2 as opposed to 0-2 makes a lot more sense.
I mean, it changes the whole inning.
I mean, we saw a bases-loaded walk turn into an inning-ending strikeout over the weekend. 2 on and 1 out for Beatty. He grounded out his first time up, and he takes that splitter down for ball 1. First plate appearance tonight for the Mets with a runner in scoring position. Had 2 hits. Littell's now walked a pair. Beatty hitless in his last 8 at bats. Red again takes a splitter down. It's 2-0. Littell is throwing that splitter less this year than he has in the past, but it's still a 20% of the time pitch. It serves as his changeup.
Well, right now, if I'm Brett, I want something up in the zone, probably up near the belt or above, and we're looking to play against the right fielder. Get it out.
Beatty tries to hold on the high fastball, but he went around. Chad Fairchild, the third base umpire, with the call. 2-1.
Tell you what, yeah, Brett's unable to hold his swing up. I don't mind him taking a chance. That one had a little bit more finish to it than some of the other pitches from Littell tonight. Still ahead in the count.
Marcus Semien in the on-deck batter. And that one sails up high, and Billups does well to keep it from going to the backstop, and it's 3-1. I would say finish.
Yeah. So similar to the last one that Littell just threw, the cutter is going to have more kind of finish and carry through the zone. It's just going to kind of keep staying on that same plane and really ride through it. You can tell, at least by my eye, that Littell is really trying to step on it right now in this situation, in a pinch and in this jam, and he missed badly with the 2-1.
And Beatty with another check swing. So he's trying to check his swing twice on pitches out of the strike zone, but now he finds himself in a full count.
Yeah, this is another one up in the zone, and he kind of wanted to shut it down. Rolled his ankle a little bit. All right. Sometimes you end up in the ground in baseball. It happens.
He can get up again.
Here's to hoping. Fall down in a way you can get back up.
5th full count for Littell in the first 4 innings. 3-2. First I'll look back at second. Nobody covering. 30-year-old Zach Littell from Burlington, North Carolina. Trying to muscle his way through this 4th inning. And then Beatty takes a walk, and that loads him up. So back-to-back walks issued by Littell, a guy who very rarely walks many. And that'll bring the pitching coach, Simon Matthews, out of the dugout to talk to his veteran right-hander. Nobody up in the Washington bullpen. Mets have an opportunity here with the bases loaded and 1 out, and Marcus Semien coming up.
Yeah, and if you're Marcus in this situation, you're looking to get something up, middle of the zone as best you can. Play catch with the center fielder. If you could go play catch with Jacob Young right now, you'll score a run. If you end up missing him on either side, you'll score 2 or 3.
Semien, despite his overall troubles, has been the Mets' best this year with runners in scoring position, sitting .333 in RBI opportunities. Flied out to center his first time up. Melendez with a 1-out hit. Vientos and Beatty each with walks. Nats play their infield back at double play depth, hoping to get Littell out of this inning. And Semien takes fastball on the inner part of the plate, 0-1. See, that wouldn't have been a bad first pitch to challenge because you got the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Unless you've already used a challenge.
Risk, yeah,
at time.
It's not having one.
That's
the rest
why
of the
it's
game.
it's a team sport, right? If every player got a challenge over the course of a game, it would be completely different.
Oh yeah, we're using it all the time.
1-1 coming, and Semien lifts it foul. It's 1-2. Marcus has 7 grand slams in his career. Mets have not hit a grand slam yet this season.
The rain is falling, Gary.
That was supposed to come till tomorrow night.
Oh, it's coming down fairly healthy.
1-2 coming. Bouncing ball to third, and under the glove of Vivas and down the line. Melendez is in. Vientos scores. Beatty goes to third. Marcus Semien winds up at second, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead. All Vivas had to do was grab that ball and step on third base, but he neglected the part about grabbing the ball as it went right under his glove.
Yeah, here's the swing from Marcus. He grounds it to Vivas, like Gary said. Vivas goes at it with one hand. I would have preferred to see him go with it with 2 as best he could. Hats off to Marcus, though, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. Here he is. You can see that offhand, the right hand is throwing hand. There's a, oh, that's
line in left center field by Bench for a base hit, and that'll bring in 2 more. Beatty and Semien come in to score. The Mets have put 4 runs on the board after the error, and it's 5-0 New York. One ground ball not played, and all of a sudden 4 runs are in.
That kind of hit and sings to my soul, Gary. He gets crowded. He doesn't hit it on the button. We could check the exit velocity on it. But here it is. Here's contact. He doesn't get it right on the barrel, but he's able to shoot it and kind of throw it over the shortstop's head, even more so with the infield end. Really good piece of hitting with runners in scoring position. Really good.
I got a base stealer at first and Bench with Mauricio at the plate. Ronnie fouls back fastball, 1-1.
And here's a swing from Carson. Nice leg kick as he slides into the hit. Sucks his hands in a little bit, just try to square it up, but really, again, gets the ball up in the zone, doesn't try to do too much with it, and just kind of throws it right into left center field.
Balls in a strike to Mauricio. Has scored 4 runs on only 2 hits in this inning, thanks to 2 walks and the error by Vivas. And Mauricio banks one up the middle for a base hit. Bench will go first to third, and the Mets continue pounding. It's first and third and 1 out. Talk about pouncing on an opponent's mistake.
Yes, and you can hear as Mauricio, another good sized leg kick, gets a fastball in the middle that he hammers up the box, and since they're having to play and cover the hole with the runner on first, bullet there. Carson Bench going first to third, really forcing the action. This is where you can see an offense really start being able to string together and build off of one another, taking advantage of the opponent's mistakes and making good swings on pitches in the zone.
Bo Bichette, who got the whole thing started in the first inning, hitting Littell's first pitch over the right center field fence for a home run. He's the 8th man up in this inning, and the Nats start to get their bullpen cranking. Infield back at double play depth, and Bichette fouls one off the fists. 1-1.
And this is what got this evening started. Again, a fastball up in the zone just below the letters. And Bichette hammers it. Looked like he knew he had it. Out to right center field and put the Mets up 1-0.
Brad Ward is up in the Washington bullpen. Breaking ball stays high, and it's 2-1. It all began with 1 out and nobody on. Melendez singled, Vientos and Beatty walked. Semien hit a double play grounder that went under Vivas's glove for an error. That brought in 2 more. And Benj drove in a pair. Now Bichette drives one to deep right. Back goes Ward to the warning track to make the catch. Tagging to third is Benj. He'll come in to score the 5th run of the inning. Bichette with his 2nd RBI of the night on the sacrifice fly, and it's 6-0 New York. Sure you're not getting 19 tonight?
Now we're on our way now. A couple more touchdowns. Kick the extra point.
Now Juan Soto, the 9th man up in the inning. He's popped up and grounded out 0 for 2. And Juan takes a splitter up and away for ball 1. That's been waiting for an inning like this. Heck, they've been waiting for a game like this. Mauricio at first with 2 down. Soto pops one foul. That'll go back out of play. 1-2. Zach Littell has already thrown 32 pitches in this inning. Up to 81 for the night. Just trying to survive the 4th with Alvarez, who led off the inning, now on deck. 5 runs in this inning, ties the most runs in any inning for the Mets this season. Another 5-run inning came in their first inning of the season against Paul Skeens. Also had a 5-run inning against the Giants in their trip out west in the 2nd week of the season. 2-2 coming to Soto, and the breaking ball pulled foul. Again, the 2-2, and Soto drives this one to deep left center field. Back near the wall goes Lyle, and it's out of here. Juan Soto goes the other way for a 2-run homer. 2nd of the year for Soto, and the Mets on a 7-run inning. 8-0 New York. Biggest inning of the year for New York as Soto adds the icing.
And here you can see Juan with 2 strikes, gets one out over the plate, and just drives it, hammers this ball, stays hit to left center field into the party deck.
He back swings the ball to left center better than anybody I've ever seen.
It stays so true that way, and he's so strong to that part of the ballpark that he doesn't have to try to pull it to get his reward. He can, again, here it is. Look like if you have just a sinker that ran away from him, he knows he's got it. And that'll finish off Zach Littell's night.
Brad Lord will come in for the Nats. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com.
I dare ya.
Juan Soto, we said that the only thing he was missing was the power piece. Well, he found it.
Yes, he did. 2 strikes, no less. Still be able to drive it out to the other way.
Brad Lord on in relief. We saw Lord last year as a starting pitcher. And like so many teams, including the Mets, the Nats have put some starting pitchers in the bullpen for length.
Yeah, and you were talking about that before the game, that it seems that modern baseball is kind of trending in that direction to be able to have multiple inning relievers in the bullpen to make up for some of the starting pitching that doesn't go as long as it used to.
I think at some point we're going to get to the point where you have 10 starters and you piggyback 2 of them in every game, and then you got 3 other guys to pitch the
higher, like the innings at the end.
Yeah, makes sense. The way the game has gone. Alvarez started this inning by fouling out to first, and he tops this one toward third. Vivas handles this one cleanly and throws out Alvarez, but Vivas's error leads to a huge inning for New York as they put up 7 and lead the Nats 8
today.
CarShield presents streaming of SNY Mets games on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action with an enhanced user experience. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. Come on, kid, take your best cut.
Sock that thing right out of here. Excuse me, ma'am. Yeah, that's right. Size it up. That's what Mel Law used to do.
I think he
Run
wants
right
to go
into it.
oppo.
Oh my goodness, I dig your style. Oh, I love your style.
He's got the walk-in like Sean Casey used to have.
I wish he had a bigger, heavier bat, because the wiffle ball bat is not a fair representation of a real weapon.
Clay Holmes must feel like he has gone to heaven. Stick to an 8-0 lead as we go to the 5th inning. Of the 7 runs the Mets scored in that 4th inning, 4 of them are unearned as the result of Jorge Vivas's error. Vivas leading off, and he pulls one foul, and it's 0-2. Lower third of the order for Holmes, who's given up 2 singles, walked 1, and struck out 4 over the first 4 innings.
7 heaven, huh? Hang it high.
7. It's a lucky number. Mets are hoping it's one they can build on. 1-2 strikes to Vivas with Drew Millis and Nasim Nunez to follow for the Nats in the 5th. And it's pulled over first and a knockdown by Vientos, but it trickles away. And Vivas is safe with an infield hit.
Yeah, not the easiest play for Mark. I think it's one he'd like to have back as he gets it closer to him than I think he believed it was. He takes quite the hop.
It is one of the highest hops seen from a corner infielder. Millis takes a sweeper for a strike. Millis had the first hit for the Nats, a single to right center in the 3rd. 3 hits now against Holmes over 4 innings plus. And Millis takes curveball for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Clay has had real good feel for his breaking balls this evening. Really good.
Thrown a lot more of them in this game than he did in the last start, but he was so sinker heavy. You know, there's so much information that hitters get going into a series about the pitchers they're going to face. And I wondered, do you concentrate more on what a pitcher has done over the long term or what he's done in his most recent outings?
I had a huge recency bias. I would watch that night's starting pitcher, probably the previous 10 to 12 at bats against left-handed hitters. That's how I would do it. And then I would see how his ball was working and where I needed to start it.
So if a guy like Holmes comes off a start where he threw almost exclusively sinkers, is that what you're looking for? And does it surprise you, and do you have to adjust if he throws more sweepers like he did tonight?
To answer your question, yes, I would go there looking for a sinker. I'd want to get the ball up and closer to me, kind of like the one that C.J. Abrams got. That would be the area I would be looking for. It's really another good breaking ball for the first out of the inning on the strikeout. But at the same time, when he goes in there and shows at least two sweepers or breaking balls to James Wood to lead the game off, now I might have to call a little audible. I got to pay attention to this ball game. So because the real recency bias now is what is he doing this evening to get us out?
1 out and 1 on. Now Nasim Nunez, who hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Now you came in during the advent of the iPad in the dugout, right?
Correct. Yes.
So how would you make use of that iPad in the course of a game? And how much did that change or distract you from watching the game itself?
I would actually, I heard Keith say this one time that he didn't want to really watch any video until he finished his game, and I love that. And so that's honestly the way I did it. The only reason I would use video on the iPad or even down underneath the clubhouse would be to find out whether or not it was a ball or a strike. Like, what are my eyes telling me this evening? Like, if I say I got called out on a strike or I may swing at a pitch, I would scream at K-Long a little bit, like, Kev, you got that ball or strike? And he'd go strike or ball, and then I would use that to gauge my next approach going forward and try to figure out how I'm seeing the ball that night.
But you would spend most of the game watching the game.
Watch the game. Yeah, I want to see what he's doing. I want to see what is he going to go to with the runner in scoring position. Pitchers act differently out there when there's a runner in scoring position. Does he like to go to the breaking ball, or is he going to try to come and get you to get ahead with the fastball, then go to the breaking stuff? And so the game tells a story. And I was trying as best I could to get in the cadence, kind of the symphony of the game if I could.
Two and two to Nunez, the number 9 hitter, with James Wood on deck. I like that, the symphony of the game.
It's like a play. It's like a little bit of an orchestra. Each one rhymes, but they're all different. And so I'm just trying to kind of immerse myself in it. And so when it's my turn, of whether on offense or defense, I'm ready for what's asked of me. See,
fastball got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Holmes. 2 down. I mean, do you consider yourself more of a string section guy or more of a brass?
Well, maybe on offense, like a little more string type of thing, but on defense, I'm probably like a drummer.
Kettle drum.
Yeah, just like, here we go.
See, the guys with who are more finesse oriented, they're hitting the triangle.
Yeah, that's just like subtle.
Wood has struck out and walked. It's been a 3 true outcomes guy tonight. Hits this one on the ground, and Mauricio is there behind the bag to throw him out. And Clay Holmes, after getting all those runs, throws up another 0. Halfway. MJ Melendez leads off the bottom of the 5th and takes a strike from Brad Lord, who came in to get the final out in the 4th. After the Mets scored 7 times against Zach Littell, Melendez rolls one down to first. That stays fair for Garcia. 1 away. Littell wound up going 3 2/3, 5 hits, 8 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 home runs. And the ERA went up from 7.56 to 7.85. So the Mets have had a lot of opportunities recently against pitchers who had been struggling coming in. And they've been stymied in most of those cases, but not tonight. Vientos takes a fastball strike.
It really took advantage of the Vivas error. It's hopefully the sign of a ball club trying to go on a run, take advantage of the opponent's mistakes when they give you extra outs, really punish them for it.
I meant to ask you, Vivas was obviously hurrying because he needed to turn a double play. Do you think if he feels that cleanly, he doubles up Simeon?
I don't think so. I think he gives himself a chance, but if Marcus is running down the line the way I'd be running down the line in that situation, I'm going to beat it. Like, we're getting this run, or I'm going to die.
If you're B-Boss, you got to make sure you get one out.
Yeah, and that's, he got greedy and tried to get 2 and ended up with 0.
Vientos tries to lay off and stopped it in time. Ball and 2 strikes. It's Bill Miller down at
Bill
first.
Miller, cheerful as ever. What a treat he was to have behind the plate.
Get to see him calling balls and strikes tomorrow. Strike 3
boy.
called. Vientos caught looking and
The
challenged.
batter is challenging the strike call.
I think Mark might be wrong on this one.
This is, again, not the right time to be challenging.
Oh,
And it
This
wasn't
was a
even
strike.
close.
New
So the
York
Mets are
is
out
out
of
of
challenges
challenges.
for the rest of the game.
all right. There you go.
I really think that if there's anything that Carlos Mendoza needs to have a team meeting about, it's these challenges.
That's
Mets
good.
have been really unjudicious. Unjudicious?
Yeah.
Injudicious. They haven't been smart about when they've been calling for the challenge. Beatty takes ball 1.
Yeah, and then it makes you wonder a little bit. I think I was listening to a podcast, but like, does the umpire, knowing that there are no more challenges for the Mets, do anything to his zone? Because now, not that he's going to open it up on purpose, but nobody's going to question him here on the way out because the Mets are out of challenges.
Wow. That's an interesting concept. Now, do you think that would be subconscious on
I
the
think so.
umpire's part?
Yeah, I don't think it would be anything intentional, like at all. It's just, I'm going to call my game now, and I don't have to worry about anybody saying anything about it.
Well, the Nats still have 2 challenges left.
Anybody in white.
3-0 to Beatty. And he takes a strike. Well, that's interesting. Is that something that's been measured?
Man, I heard it somewhere, and now I don't think I'm making it up, but it's kind of like it was brought up in an effort or kind of talk about strategy. Do you want to hold on to that challenge in order to, the umpire still knows that, he could be challenged as Brett Beatty flies out to end the inning.
We played 5. Well, that's out of challenges. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, and the answer is 8. 8 spiders.
6th inning, Clay Holmes working with an 8-0 lead. Facing 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Tyrone Taylor comes in to play center field. Carson Bench moves to left as the Mets play with a big lead. Good looking curveball. He's really had that new option working for him. That's a new pitch for Clay this year.
Yeah, more top to bottom, kind of top of the zone to bottom of the zone to go along with the sweeper. We've seen him throw more side to side breaking ball, and he's been getting strike 1 all night.
Luis Garcia is 0 for 2. Takes that curveball outside. Garcia, then Brady House and C.J. Abrams for the Nats in the 6th. Changeup misses away 2-2. Tobias Myers is up in the Mets bullpen. Holmes went 7 in his last start, but he hasn't thrown more than 90 pitches in any outing yet this year. So just hoping to get through the 6th today. Tapped foul. Still 2-2. Clay Holmes has been a godsend for the Mets since moving to the rotation last year. Came into the night 3rd in the National League in ERA at 2.10, and he's only lowered that tonight.
Averaging 6 innings a start, I believe, coming into this game. It's been quite an acquisition. Been really good.
Sharply hit, but right at Simeon. And he throws out Garcia 1 away. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Brady House. House has been up twice, grounded out to second base both times. And a fastball strike, and we check in with Steve.
Guys, we just see Marcus Semien making another pretty smooth play over at second base. And I asked Kai Correa what it is about Semien that really separates him as a defender. And he said just that. Think about how many times you've seen a ball as Vientos on the backhand, gives it to Holmes, who touches first base for the second out of the inning. But think about how many times you've seen Simeon have to dive for a ball or anything like that. We really haven't seen it. He does such a good job of anticipating where the ball is going to be, getting that first step quickness, and getting his body in position to field it right in between his legs. It's something that, isn't that flashy, but when you look at the metrics, he does a pretty remarkable job, according to Correa. Kind of a unicorn in how he's able to get in front of every single ball hit in his vicinity.
And they don't give out the gold for nothing. He's won a couple of gold gloves in his career.
Yeah, and if you're able to get, like Steve was saying, this first step that Marcus is able to get great jumps on the ball and then get it in the middle of your body, you're just going to see it so much better, be able to secure the ball so much easier if you can center it right in the middle of your body, right in the middle of your eyes.
I want to talk about that last throw by Mark Vientos, because that reminded me of you.
Which one?
Just the last one.
Yeah, I know Mark's last one, but I chucked it all over the place from time to time. Which one are you thinking about with me?
I'm thinking about you throwing off balance and getting it to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was. Yeah. At first base.
I mean, he didn't plant. He just turned and flung, and he got it in the right place.
He put it right on him.
I mean, that was your style of first base.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to set his feet a little bit and maybe drive it to him underhand. It's like, no, he just threw him an alley-oop, and Clay said, I'll take it and dunk it right at first base. That was a tough play. Those are the ones right in that area next to the pitcher's mound that are difficult. There's Marcus right in the middle of his body again.
3 ground ball outs for Holmes. He's now got 6 scoreless innings under his belt and cruising with an 8-0. Marcus Semien hits the first pitch at the bottom of the 6th on the ground to short. C.J. Abrams throws him out. 1 pitch and 1 retired for Brad Lord, who's retired all 5 to face him. And now Carson Benj, who had a huge hit in the middle of the Mets' 7-run 4th inning. Drove in the 3rd and 4th runs of that inning with a solid single to left center. Continuing his excellent homestand. Only his 2nd hit this year with a runner in scoring position.
Starting to smell and figure out where those RBIs are.
He drives that one into right field for his 2nd hit of the night. Now, you were talking about turning on balls for Benj being the next piece.
I tell you what'll help you turn on a ball. If you've already got a base hit in the ball game, you'll take a couple more shots. It kind of takes away some of the anxiety. Here's a swing from Benj. You can see him loaded up and really turn into the hit. It gets close to him. Good full swing. Whack right over the second baseman's head, dropping in front of Jimmy Wood to get on first base. Step by step, maybe. There you go. Only one way to dig yourself out of hop. Step by step.
Ronnie Mauricio had a base hit up the middle and scored in front of Soto's home run in the 4th. Ronnie's now got his batting average over 300. 5 for 16. Getting a chance to play every day with Francisco Lindor on the shelf. Just to keep you updated on the Mets injury news, Juan Soto limited to DHing because he had a little forearm stiffness when he tried to throw over the weekend. But he was out there throwing before the game today, and they don't think it's anything serious. They did an MRI just to make sure, and he's fine. So he should be playing the field maybe by the end of this week. Meanwhile, Luis Robert is out of the lineup for the 2nd straight game because of lower back tightness. That's why Benj started in center field. And the other news is that Kodai Senga has gone on the injured list after his struggles on Sunday. Senga disabled with lumbar spine irritation. According to Carlos Mendoza, it's L4, L5.
Is that the same spot Keith was at?
I believe it's right about the same
Goodness,
area.
it's an epidemic.
So Senga had an epidural to try and relieve the irritation and the pain, and he will not be able to throw for 7 to 10 days. So that's going to keep him out for a while. Yeah. Meanwhile, Christian Scott has been recalled to take Senga's spot on the roster, and Scott will make his 2nd start of the year Friday in Anaheim. And now you're up to date. Jorge Polanco was out running today.
Yeah,
about
I did
80%.
see him out in the field.
And so he's getting a little closer. He's still dealing with the Achilles bursitis and the bone bruise in his wrist, so he's working his way back slowly.
And we're hoping that Keith comes off the shelf in Denver, Colorado series.
Well, he's eligible to come off.
Oh.
Yeah, fly ball out to right.
Oh.
And Wood is there, 2 out. It was against the Nats that Senga suffered the hamstring injury that short-circuited his and the Mets season last year. Yeah. By the way, the folks in Baltimore say that even though Pete Alonso isn't hitting, he's playing the best defense of his career. Could have used a little better defense on that play.
Yeah, he kind of sent that one up. You would hope that Senga might be able to come out of that without getting hurt too bad, but
Bichette grounds one down to Garcia. He'll take it himself, and that retires the side. We're through 6 at Citi Field. The Mets working with an 8-0 lead.
Sandwiches, Papa John's.
Another magnificent outing for Clay Holmes.
yeah, here's his breaking ball early on. Another breaking ball here. We're going to get a whole fill of them, and then he's throwing fastballs by Jacob Young up in the zone. He just, I think, what were you saying, Gary? 10 ground ball outs, 6 strikeouts, so an 18 outs total. Only
decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. Tobias Myers will pick up from there and throws a fastball by Dylan Lyle.
I think, did Clay have 1 plate appearance with the runner in scoring position? Luis Garcia, fine outing.
Myers last pitched on Thursday against the Twins. 2 1/3 innings, an unearned run on 2 hits. It's another one of those relief outings where he might be able to get through the entire game with 2 pitchers.
Coming off of what, 5 days of rest, 4 days of rest.
Lyle down on 3 pitches as he swung at a high cutter, and that's the first out in the 7th for Myers. Tobias has been really good. There's Jacob Young, who struck out both of his at-bats against Holmes. And takes a knee-high fastball for a strike.
Strike 1, strike 1.
You always love these Florida guys.
Well, he's a local fella in the 904.
Winter Haven, is that 904?
Oh, that's Tobias Myers. Is he Winter Haven?
Yeah.
I know
Jacob Young you're talking about.
Yeah, Jacob Young.
I see.
Yeah, I see that. This is new on the scoreboard. I didn't see that they have where Tobias Myers is from, Winter Haven. The little American flag next to it. That's a nice addition.
Winter Haven, the former spring home of the Red Sox.
Okay.
For many, many years. So he's retired the first 2, and now Vivas, who had an infield hit his last time up, and he hits one late and down to Bichette. He straightens up and throws him out, and Myers makes quick work of the Nats. Got him out on 6 pitches. Stretch.
BNJ.org today.
Andre Gradillo will take over the pitching for the Nats as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Gradillo, who made his big league debut with the Cardinals last year, deals to Juan Soto. And his first sinker is out of the strike zone for ball 1. Soto had a 2-run homer to cap the Mets' 7-run 4th inning, their biggest inning of the year. Soto's second home run of the season, hit at the left center field.
Here's the home run Gary was just talking about. 2-seamer leaks out over the plate, and Juan drives it right through the party deck for a 2-run homer.
His first extra base hit since coming back from the injured list, so that probably will get him unleashed.
Yeah, it's hard to explain how relaxing it is when you know that you can get rewarded to the other gap, because now if you happen to catch it a little bit out front, it's much easier to drive the ball to the pool side. And so when you're in the position that Juan's in and he can drive it out the other way, it helps with your decision making. You swing at better pitches and know that whenever you want to take a chance, you still have plenty of time to do it and swing at a good ball.
It's ahead in the count 3-1 with Alvarez on deck. And takes a slider for a strike. That's what you're going to see from Granillo. 62% sliders so far this year. Almost see another one on 3-2.
I know, and it's 8-0. It's hard for me to go look for a breaking ball, but he's telling you those 6 out of 10 breaking balls.
He threw him a fastball, and Juan flies it out to left. Surprised Juan probably. Lyle makes the catch, 1 out. Brad Lord worked 2 1/3 in relief for the Nats. No runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Only 27 pitches over 2 1/3, and that's what Lord's been doing. After the starter Zach Littell lasted just 3 2/3. Here's Alvarez 0 for 3 today. Francisco now just 3 for 22 on this homestand. He lifts this one out to left, and Lyle has it lined up. And so quickly there are 2 out. Destination board presented by United Airlines. Hey, we got Murph in there.
I made the rooster.
It's very funny to say that. Night game tomorrow, day game Thursday, then the trip to Anaheim, Denver, and Phoenix. When I was in Little League, like low Little League, like 8-year-old Little League, every time we had a rain out, the coach made it our responsibility to call each other to let everybody know
there's no ball game,
that there was no ball game. Parents didn't do it. We were 8 years old. We had a roster. You had to call the next guy on the roster, and then he called the next guy on the roster. And I'll never forget the guy who called me. His first name was Keith. I forgot his last name, but it probably started with an A because he was before me on the roster. Said, "There's a rain out. You got to call the next guy on the rooster."
And the rooster.
It stuck with me for years after that. The rooster.
Now, were you guys? Everybody got called and nobody showed up to the ballpark.
Everybody. It got done.
That's brilliant. I love it.
I mean, there were no cell phones. You had to call people at home.
That's taking your responsibility seriously.
It was a phone tree, but we were 8 years old, and we were trusted with that. Can you imagine?
I can't. My kids don't even know what a phone in the wall looks like right now. They'd be asking for my cell phone, or can I FaceTime them?
I think, I'm old enough that not only was the phone on the wall, but it had a dial.
Yes. Back in time machine.
Tyrone Teller up for the first time in the game, took over defensively in the last inning.
You remember the name of the ball club you were playing for?
I believe it was. It's escaping me now.
That's all right.
Later on, I played for Golden Gate Karting, which was a garbage company, but I'll have to go back in the memory banks for that one. Abrams is there to grab the pop-up. A 1-2-3 inning for Granillo. That sends us out to the 8th. 8th inning, Mets with an 8-0 lead. Tobias Myers, who had a 6-pitch 1-2-3 7th, will try to negotiate the 8th against the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Nats order. Drew Millis has one of the 3 hits for the Nats tonight, and he takes fastball strike, and Myers is not messing around.
No, strike one. That's now 16 out of 26 first pitch strikes that the Mets have gotten tonight. Just pounding the zone, 0-0, getting ahead in the count, and really on the attack.
Quickly ahead on Millis, 0-2. Clay Holmes, 94 pitches in 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, lowered his season ERA to 1.75. The Phillies began their Don Mattingly era with a win tonight. They got 7 scoreless from Jesus Luzardo, who had really been struggling. 2 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings for Luzardo as they beat the Giants 7-0.
That makes the new managerial interim hires undefeated, even though Toronto's up on Boston right now. The new fellas don't lose.
Well, Chad Tracy got 8 scoreless out of Ranger Suarez yesterday to beat Toronto. I mean, it really helps when a guy goes out there and throws up zeros for 7 or 8 innings. Vientos with the flip to Myers. 4 up and 4 down for Tobias. 1 out in the 8th.
Well, Gary, we were talking about your Little League team and your Little League coach, Herb, good friend.
Yes.
I think we've got a picture of you to complete the portrait.
That's a different picture. That is my father dressing me in a Yankee uniform to take me to a doubleheader for my 8th birthday on May the 1st, 1966. The Yankees and the Kansas City Athletics.
Okay. That was when Connie Mack's Athletics were in Kansas City. When you played in this position, is this how you played defense, like with your hands on your knees like that? No, I dig that because that's how Honus Wagner did it. It's on YouTube. You can go and look.
Yeah. I wasn't really on my toes in the picture. I wasn't really ready for the pitch.
Yeah, as long as you catch it. I dig that. I teach our Little Leaguers to do it that way, almost like a linebacker in football. I like that style.
The thing I remember about that doubleheader was that Raleigh Sheldon pitched the first game for the Athletics and beat the Yankees. And things were very different in those days. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Raleigh Sheldon, who pitched the first game and beat the Yankees, sat right behind us.
Did he really?
Yeah. Got his autograph.
What was he doing? Just watching the ball game?
Yeah, he got into his street clothes. Watching the second game from the stands.
Do you have any libations, or he just
no? He was just hanging
enjoying
out
the ball game in his street clothes.
In his street clothes.
All right. You get to talk ball. Y'all talk ball with him a little bit.
You know, I was a little nervous.
Fair play.
I was a shy 8-year-old, and but I got his autograph. So that was pretty cool.
So you're trying to say you don't think that you'll see Clay Holmes climbing to the stands today and finish the ball?
I don't think that's going to happen. Nunez draws a walk after the Mets had retired 10 Nats in a row, one out base runner. But that was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
I mean,
you hear of that like in the minor leagues, guys would go in there and chart a game, but that's different than just taking a ball game in after you've gotten your work done.
I think that was the norm for starting pitchers in second games of doubleheaders. I could be wrong about that. I guess he was not, the kind of stick that they would have used as a pinch hitter or wheels that he would have used as a pinch runner.
Because the American League pitchers were hitting still.
Oh, yeah. 1966, before the designated hitter. Do you know who had the last 5-hit game for a pitcher?
No.
It was an American leaguer. It was a Yankee who would later coach for the Mets and the Yankees.
Oh dear, I'm doing myself no favors. It was no, I don't. I got my baseball trivia right now.
It was Mel Stottlemyre.
Okay.
1964, in his rookie year, he had a 5-hit game. The last pitcher ever to do it. Think about it. Even if pitchers hit now, how often would they get 5 at-bats in a game?
5 plate appearances. They must have beat the crap out of whoever they were playing.
3-2 to Wood. Well, yeah, if you got that 5th hit, that means somebody got done a 6th at bat. Two to Wood, and he slashes one foul. Low bridging his third base coach. Victor Estevez had to go down. There's Raleigh Sheldon.
There he is.
Still have that autograph tucked away in a box in my attic somewhere. Nice job, Tommy. Good catch.
See ya.
Strike 3 call. Got him looking at a fastball. Second strikeout for Myers. 2 down in the inning. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Spectrum. It's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. By Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today only at your local Hyundai dealer. And by HSS, #1 Orthopedics in the official hospital of the New York Mets. 2 out now. Luis Garcia, who's 0 for 3. And he pops one foul. Clay Holmes went the first 6 for the Mets and is in line for the win. The last Mets starter to get a win, Clay Holmes, April 4th, 24 days ago, against the Giants. That was also the only shutout the Mets have thrown this year. Holmes went 7 in that game.
Start yourself a streak today.
Garcia rolls over one. Semien comes in to get it. And Tobias Myers with 2 scoreless innings sends us to the bottom. Home 8th inning, Mark Vientos takes inside from Andre Granillo, who begins his 2nd inning of relief. Vientos has struck out twice, walked and scored a run. Mets have had only 6 hits tonight, but they put together a 7-run 4th inning, helped out by a couple of walks and an error. And they have cruised since on terrific pitching by Clay Holmes and more recently Tobias Myers. Vientos lays off the slider and it's 3-0. Brett Beatty on deck and then Marcus Semien. Mets will have David Peterson going tomorrow night. They had a TBD in that spot, but Peterson, after 2 terrific outings out of the bullpen, has been reinstated into the rotation. Well, strike 3-1. He'll go against Cade Cavalli, who had some great starts for the Nats last year.
Yeah, he was a first rounder for the Nats. There was a little bit injured there for a while, but it was healthy at the finish in the last season and then coming into this year.
So Craig Kimbrell up in the Mets bullpen. Looks like he might get the 9th after Myers worked the 7th and 8th. Hey, when Murph and I are done here, keep it tuned for Mercedes-Benz postgame live. Gary Apple and Murph's old teammate Jerry Blevins will be on hand.
Yeah, former competitor too. I didn't swing the bat well off of Jerry at all, so you guys tune in. You'll have a better time with him than I did.
No, left on left, you know.
I'm telling you, I need that platoon advantage, Gary. I need it.
He had those walks for the second time tonight. All I know is you played, what, 2.5 years for Washington?
Yes, yeah.
And it felt like 12. Because you just killed your old team. I mean, you had no mercy.
I probably got more than 2.5 seasons worth of hits against the Mets. Maybe that's what it was.
I like to think that the Mets unlocked your prodigious hitting talents, and the Nats
got the good fortune
the residue.
of it.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. 1,061 OPS.
Saw it well here in the visiting clubhouse. No, I mean, Kevin really did. He kind of like took the handcuffs off of me and allowed me to take some more chances and had some success and was able to ride that. Oh, yeah.
Liner ran at the second baseman Nunez for the first out. Beatty retired. You know, people talk all the time about postseason in 2015. The one I remember was the 3-run homer in the 9th inning in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Tied that game.
Yeah, and that was one. I hadn't swung the bat well, and I'm almost certain I made an error earlier in that game that was fairly costly. But, yeah, I got a breaking ball and ended up hitting it out of the ballpark for a 3-run shot. And almost got to the dugout, and I was like, thank goodness I did something, because that ended up being an extra inning game.
Yep. Yeah, you tied it up with 2 out in the 9th.
Yeah.
At that point, you guys were on such a tremendous roll.
We were on a heater. Just like it's the same way on a ball club. You can feel it when you feel like something good's going to happen for you. You really believe in it, and the other can work in the opposite as well too. If the ball club isn't going quite as well.
Well, the 2015 postseason is when Murph turned into Babe Ruth.
Number 5, Chicago. Oh, that was such a great run.
4-game sweep of the Cubs. And, yeah, MVP trophy, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Where does that MVP trophy live?
That's a good question. I think it's in what would be considered my man cave-ish that is slowly being taken over by my boys' achievements in baseball. But yeah, I have some jerseys up, the MVP trophy, and then some of my boys' stuff as well too, like first homer and things like that. I long for the day where they move all my stuff out and put theirs in.
Of all the home runs that you hit in that postseason, which one resonates for you the most?
The most fun one I remember was the one off of Hendricks, because I knew what pitches were coming, and in the pitch that he threw to me, I don't even think was a strike. It was kind of up and away, maybe off the plate, and it was one of the only ones that I hit, and I knew it was gone. So I really got to admire it. And as I say that, it makes me think. So my boys have taken to golf a little bit, and my little 8-year-old said, he goes, I like golf because when you hit it, you can just admire it in golf. And I go, well, son, sometimes you hit a baseball good enough, you can just admire that sucker too. And so that was one I got to admire, the one off the college.
I like the one against Arrieta in the first inning.
The scoop and score, yeah, that was being able to keep it fair. It just shows you really don't have to hit it that far if you take the shortcut. So, and he was on such a heater as well too that
that's the thing. I mean, he'd been so dominant all year. Bench flies one out to shallow right. Wood uses the hack, but Nunez catches the ball. 2 out. On to Sports Night tonight after the post game. Much more on this game. The Knicks and Hawks playing in the pivotal Game 5. Much more on Honda Sports Night tonight and every night right here on SNY. I've got the numbers for you. Murphy versus Blevins.
It's not good.
Do you know what the numbers are?
I got one hit that he was upset about. He might have turned in to try to get overturned to an error, but it wasn't many.
2 for 19.
Yeah, I told you.
7 punch outs.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have those numbers against too many guys.
No, it was him, and then there was another one. He pitched with the Mets now. It was the one we were in here. I went like 0 for 19 against him. He was a starter for the Marlins, and then pitched with the Mets as well too. He had a good splitter. I'll think of it.
I think who you're talking about.
He was here last year briefly. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to check tape when we get off the air.
Well, the Mets had 46 pitchers last year, so that covers a lot of territory.
He was at. I know. I'm just gonna end up talking myself in circles and getting nowhere.
Doug will look it up for us. Strike called to Mauricio, and it's 1-2. Yeah, that's strike 3. So Mauricio goes down looking at a slider, and that sends us off to the 9th with the Mets up 8.
Taking care of our own.
Hey kids, you can join us in the booth to call half an inning of the Mets game on SNY. Parents, scan the code and submit your child's video for a chance to win the 2026 SNY Kidcaster contest presented by HSS. Greg Kimbrell on to try and finish this one off. Brady House takes his first fastball for a strike.
The batter is challenging the strike ball.
And House is using an available challenge. And he loses the
Pitch is
challenge.
strike. Washington has 1 challenge remaining.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Right. 9th inning. All bets are off. Kimbrell hasn't pitched in 5 days. Last faced the Twins, gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning last Thursday. It'll be House, then C.J. Abrams and Dalen Lyle after Clay Holmes and Tobias Myers combined for 8 scoreless innings. Upstairs with the fastball, and it's 1-2 to House. Well, you got to face Craig Kimbrell when he was the king of the world.
Yeah, and we were talking off air that David hit a home run against him in Atlanta in the 9th inning, I think, to tie a ball game up. And when he did it, I didn't understand how he did it, because he would just run right through me, because this was when Craig was in his heyday, and just like it was almost like he threw an invisible fastball. You couldn't center it at all.
440 career saves. And a strikeout of Brady House to start the 9th inning. 1 down.
Yeah, Jose Urena.
That was the
one.
guy?
0 for 15. He owned me when he was in Miami. Had a real good splitter, and I would swing at it all the time in the dirt and just get out all the time.
Last year, on this date, the Mets played the Nationals. It was the game that Brandon Nimmo had the 9 RBIs. Jose Urena that day had a 3-inning save for the Mets, despite giving up 5 earned runs.
That's right.
And then was released the next day.
Yeah.
Ball to strike to Abrams, who has one of the Nats' 3 hits tonight.
No charity in the big league.
writes dad should be playing with the young man's hair. It's got a lot more of it. It's more curly, more fun.
Get lost in the son's hair. What's he got in there with? He's got sticky fingers in dad's hair.
Trying to save what he's got. Don't we all? 1 and 2. Oh, it's cotton candy and then go for dad's hair.
Dad's like, I gotta get all this pink stuff in my hair.
One out and nobody on. Dylan Lyle is on deck. 1-2 coming to Abrams. And he struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kimbrel. And the Nats are down to their final out of the night.
Really good finish on Craig's fastball through the zone this evening. Really good finish. Here it is. You can see it. When I say finish, it's like it just kind of explodes almost at the plate.
Does not succumb to gravity.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
What do they call it? Induced vertical break.
Is that the modern way to describe it? All right.
Dylan Lyle with 2 out. Lyle's 0 for 3. Flied out twice and struck out.
I could say to Chad Whitson's credit on that one with no challenges. Well, I guess I can't because the Nationals the Mets would have challenged it. But he didn't open the zone up.
Nats have only been shut out once this year. That was against the Pirates 2 weeks ago. Mets looking for their second shutout of the year. And Lyle swings and misses, and the Nats are down to their final strike. One-two from Kimbrel. He struck him out. Craig Kimbrel strikes out the side in the ninth, and the Mets have themselves a dominating victory. Clay Holmes goes 6 scoreless for the win. The Mets with a 7-run third, their biggest inning of the year. And the Mets win for just the 3rd time in the last 18 games as they defeat the Nats 8-0.
Yeah, you got to love Bo Bichette coming out, giving them an early lead. Clay Holmes was awesome the whole game, all 6 innings, getting first pitch strikes. And then, like you said, in that 4th inning, Mets got some offense going, took advantage of an error by the Nationals and put this one out of reach, and were able to win in a runaway bit of a laugher this evening.
Juan Soto with his 2nd home run of the year. Capped off that 7-run inning. Tonight's win is brought to you by Moomoo. Download the app for access to exclusive Mets perks and smarter trading. Moomoo Financial Inc. member FINRA SIPC. The Amazing Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Cass Institute for Women's Health for every Mets win. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. The total contribution so far this season is $25,000. Game summary brought to you by Spectrum. Clay Holmes lowers his ERA to 1.75 with 6 scoreless innings tonight as the Mets put up their biggest inning of the year and defeat the Nats 8-0. Greg Kimbrel putting on the finishing touches by striking out the side of the ninth. Mets win at 8-0 over the Nats. More coming up from Citi Field in just a moment.